These are places where the walls don't just trap bodies, they crush minds and erase hope. This is part 2 of the world's deadliest prisons, and what you're about to hear will stay with you. First, let's journey to Manila in the Philippines, home to the new Bilibid Prison. This facility is infamous for one primary reason: extreme overcrowding. Imagine thousands of men crammed into dense cell blocks originally designed for just a fraction of that number. Inmates are forced to sleep on the ground, shoulder to shoulder, creating a breeding ground where diseases like tuberculosis spread like wildfire. Surveillance is constant, yet violence is a daily occurrence, an inevitable result of the unbearable conditions. From a psychological standpoint, this environment is a pressure cooker. When people are packed together with absolutely no privacy or personal space, it's a recipe for disaster. The human mind isn't built for this. Stress levels skyrocket, aggression becomes the default response, and mental breakdowns are common. Survival becomes the only instinct, overriding everything else. It's a constant, desperate fight for resources, for a few inches of floor space, for a breath of fresh air. The very essence of what makes us human begins to erode in such a place. Now, we travel to Bucharest, Romania, to Rahova Prison. This is a place that houses some of the country's most dangerous criminals, murderers, rapists, and human traffickers. The security here is relentless and suffocating. Every corridor is monitored by cameras, every cell is guarded, and inmates spend nearly all of their time in strict lockdown. The goal is total control, but this comes at a tremendous psychological cost. Being confined to a cell for 24 hours a day, even with cameras watching your every move, creates a profound sense of emotional stagnation. The world shrinks to the size of a tiny concrete box. This level of isolation and monotony can dehumanize individuals, stripping them of their sense of self. The constant surveillance adds a layer of paranoia, where you are always being watched, but are completely alone. It's a paradox that drives many to the brink of insanity, a slow, grinding process that breaks the spirit. Next, we head to Colombia and the Picalena prison, one of the nation's most heavily fortified penitentiaries. Picalena holds thousands of dangerous offenders, and its security is legendary. The escape rate is virtually zero, thanks to a multi-layered system of walls, fences, and constant, heavily armed patrols. Getting in is easy, getting out is impossible. But the real story is what happens inside. The prison is a cauldron of high tension, with rival factions constantly vying for power and control. The air is thick with mistrust, not just between inmates, but between inmates and the heavily armed guards who patrol the corridors. It's a climate of fear, where a single wrong word or a glance can lead to brutal violence. This isn't just a prison. It's a self-contained war zone, one of the harshest and most unforgiving environments on the planet. Our journey continues to Bosnia and Herzegovina, to the city of Zenica. The Zenica prison is the largest in the country, an old fortress with a dark history. Its population is a mix of inmates from all walks of life, from minor offenders serving short sentences to hardened war criminals carrying the weight of unspeakable acts. Each person inside has their own complex, often traumatic, history. Here, the primary struggles are overcrowding and a severe lack of resources. These two factors combine to turn every single day into a fight for survival. But it's not just a physical fight for food or a safe place to sleep. It's a psychological battle to maintain one's dignity and identity. In an environment where you are just a number, where your past defines you, and your future is non-existent, holding on to who you are becomes the ultimate act of defiance. We return to the Philippines, this time to South Cotabato jail. This facility is a stark example of a system pushed far beyond its breaking point. Originally designed to hold a few hundred inmates, it now houses thousands. This explosion in population is a direct result of the nation's hardline drug policies, which led to overwhelming numbers of arrests. The jail is over capacity by hundreds, even thousands of %. Inside, prisoners with drastically different backgrounds from first-time, non-violent offenders to career criminals are thrown together in a chaotic and volatile mix. The handful of guards have little to no control over the vast, teeming population. Violence is frequent and often goes unpunished. Psychologists who have studied these environments describe them as breeding grounds for despair. Power struggles erupt over the smallest things, and a constant, pervasive fear hangs over everyone. It's a place where hope goes to die, Now, let's venture to Colony 8 in Kharkiv, Ukraine. This prison is known for housing repeat offenders and violent criminals. The conditions are deliberately harsh. Inmates are packed into tight, 100-square-foot cells with little room to move. Guards conduct constant, intrusive checks day and night, ensuring that control is absolute. Escape is considered virtually impossible. The mental impact of living in Colony 8 is devastating. The tiny cells, the minimal sunlight filtering through barred windows, and the complete lack of privacy create a perfect storm for psychological collapse. Inmates report severe insomnia, crippling paranoia, and a complete emotional breakdown. The punishment, in this case, seems designed not just to confine the body, but to shatter the mind. For many, the psychological trauma experienced inside is far worse than the crime that put them there. Across many of the prisons we've looked at, from the Philippines to Romania and Bosnia, one recurring nightmare stands out above all others: severe overcrowding. This isn't just an issue, it's a catalyst for catastrophe. Cells designed for a few become hellholes for dozens, sometimes hundreds. This single factor accelerates the spread of disease, triggers unimaginable levels of violence, and inflicts deep, lasting psychological trauma. When you strip people of their personal space, you strip them of their humanity. The air becomes foul, the noise is constant, and the stress is unbearable. Despair becomes the norm. So, why do these prisons stay in our memory long after we hear about them? Because these aren't just buildings with bars and guards. They are complex, brutal systems where the very fabric of humanity erodes. They are places where survival is a daily, all-consuming struggle, and where the mind can break long before the body gives out. Psychologists have a term for this: institutional trauma. It's a condition where the environment itself is the abuser, where fear becomes a permanent state of being, and despair becomes the default emotion. The scars left by these places are invisible, but they last a lifetime. For Part 3, we're going even deeper. We'll explore the most shocking prison riots and uprisings in history. We'll hear from experts on how inmates cope psychologically with truly hopeless conditions. And we'll uncover true prison escape stories that defy all odds. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because the world of prisons is far darker and more complex than you can possibly imagine. Thanks for watching.